Hey everyone, Tofu here, and welcome back to Banjo-Tooie. Last time we finished Pterodactyl Land, and we technically started Grunty Industries, and today we're going to actually start Grunty Industries, but there's a couple things I want to actually do before we do that. So, first thing I want to do is go to the Pine Grove area, because I said I was going to do this. I don't actually remember what I said exactly about this, but yeah, I have 0 burgers and 0 fries. That's very sad. But I wanted to actually show off what the Mega Globo does, because Wumba here will only accept the Mega Globo in the Isle of Hags, because she has a very special spell. She needs the Mega Globo for it. Yes, I will give you the legendary Mega Globo. Throw that big boy in there. Alright. And let's go in and see what this very special transformation is. I'm sure a lot of people already know what it is. It's Banjo! Wow, we turned into Banjo. That's crazy. Dragon? But nothing's changed. Except now Kazooie is actually a dragon. So this is Dragon Kazooie. This is a permanent transformation. Well, it's not permanent, like you can still change back. But the game won't stop you from just being Dragon Kazooie permanently now. So what Dragon Kazooie does is she can breathe fire. That's, like, about it. Instead of doing, like, the standstill rat-a-tat-rap, you still have the rat-a-tat-rap when you move and press B, but if you're just, like, standing still, she breathes fire. And honestly, I don't think it's very good. I think rat-a-tat-rap is still a better move. Also, like, well, I didn't mean to do that. You don't really stand still a lot in this game. You have to, like, I don't know, be kind of precise with it, because as you saw with that other guy, like, they just kind of run from your fire. So you have to be pretty close to them when you actually do it. The only other thing that Dragon Kazooie is good for, in fact, this is actually probably the best thing Dragon Kazooie is good for, is the fact that you can shoot unlimited fire eggs. Like, we'll just shoot a bunch here, we'll still be at however many we had before. So that is actually really good. And if you find yourself, like, using eggs a lot for combat, and you struggle to, like, keep a lot of them, then I'd say it's pretty good. But we have so many eggs, and honestly, I don't recommend using eggs for combat that much either. Like, rat-a-tat-rap is just better in every way. Like, it's helpful, I guess, for some bosses, but I don't know. I don't think it's that useful of an upgrade, honestly. Also, her voice is a little deeper now, which is something, I guess. So I guess it honestly just comes down to whether or not you just like the design of having Kazooie as a dragon. I personally don't. I really don't like it that much. I'm not opposed to the idea of Kazooie turning into a dragon. I think it's really fucking awesome, actually. But I don't know, I feel like the dragon kind of lacks a lot of Kazooie's charm. And I just prefer Bird Kazooie. Like, I don't know, she doesn't look as sassy, she doesn't look as cute in that design. And granted, you know, it's an N64 model, but I don't know, I feel like they did not do the design or the concept of Dragon Kazooie justice with the model they actually gave it. So I'm not actually a huge fan of Dragon Kazooie. Sorry to say it to anyone who loves Dragon Kazooie and wanted me to use it for the rest of the playthrough. I'm not. I'm gonna stick with normal Kazooie, because she's just better. Sorry. But anyways, what we actually want to do to progress, because Dragon Kazooie is completely optional. There is nothing in the game that requires it at all. So you don't need to get that upgrade whatsoever if you don't want it, so I'm not going to. But we're going to actually finally talk to Mumbo here in Isle of Hags, and actually finally get rid of this Globo that we've been carrying around since forever. So let's give him this Globo. I actually don't know off the top of my head if this is going to work, because I think we can still do this with Mumbo. But there's something that I probably should have done first with Banjo and Kazooie, just in case Mumbo can't do it, but I'm pretty sure he can do it. I don't think there's any reason for him not to be able to do this. Oh my god, watch out. Okay, I was gonna try to kill that guy, but whatever. So, the Mumbo pad is over there. And what I'm not sure if Mumbo can do or not is if he can actually call the train here. I think he can, because he can still, like, talk to people, but... yeah, I think he can do this. I'm pretty sure he... yeah, okay. I was just worried about that. Like, I've done this multiple times, but I was a bit foggy on whether or not he could actually do that or not. And, if, you know, worrying about wasting time in a recording is so much more, like... it's so much more prominent of a fear than when you're just playing by yourself. So, like, I didn't want to come over here with Mumbo and have it be like, oh, you can't actually call the train. Sorry, go back to Banjo-Kazooie. Then I'd have to go back to Banjo-Kazooie, call the train, then go back to Mumbo, come back here as Mumbo, and then do the thing. It just would have been awful, and I didn't want that to happen. So that's why I was worried about it. But thankfully, I actually remembered how the game works. Now what I'm not sure about is if Mumbo can actually go in here. Okay, he actually can. Because, like, he can't go in, like, the main area of the train. But that's just because he can't climb. So, we got that sick dinosaur in there. As you may remember from however many episodes ago that was. I don't think it was last episode. At some point throughout the Pterodactyl Land saga, which took forever, we got that sick dinosaur onto the train. And now we can heal them with Mumbo. Because that's what Mumbo's spell is in the Isle of Hags. And this is the only time we actually get to use it in the Isle of Hags. So this is the only time Mumbo heals anything. That was an odd cut. But I was just gonna cut back to the dinosaur. Show us that they're happy now. They feel great. So that's wonderful. Yep, yeah, I see you. Oh, that's a weird shot. Alright, so that's taken care of now. And the Mumbo pad has disappeared, so we can't use that again. Not like we need to, but it's gone now. So let's bring Mumbo back to his skull. And then, once we get Banjo and Kazooie back, we have to actually deliver that dinosaur back to their family, because, well, we can't just keep them on a train forever. That would be rude and mean and bad, and I don't think that would be a good idea. Plus, we need a Jiggy out of it, so that Jiggy is actually very, very complicated of a setup, and I think I probably went on this little, not rant, I guess, but just info dump, I guess, back in my original playthrough of this game on the main channel, but to actually get that Jiggy, or the Jiggy we're about to get, because we haven't even got it yet, but to get this Jiggy, there is so much you have to set up. First of all, you have to levitate the train with Mumbo back in Glitter Gulch Mine to get it back on the train tracks. Then you have to fight Old King Cole to actually be able to use the train. Then you have to go to Witchy World, free open that dinosaur from the cage with a grenade egg, bring the train to Witchy World so they get on the train, then open up the train station in Pterodactyl Land, and then bring the train there so that the other dinosaur from Witchy World can go back home. Then you have to use Mumbo in the cave to actually make one of the dinosaurs bigger because he was too small. Well, first you have to, like, drill that boulder with Banjo-Kazooie to actually get that open, so Mumbo could even go in there. And then you have to do all this healing nonsense and bring the train from Pterodactyl Land to Isle of Hags to heal it, then bring it all the way back to Pterodactyl Land to actually heal this one dinosaur. And now that we have taken care of all 3 dinosaurs, we finally get a Jiggy for this. So, it's honestly not that difficult, because, like, most of that setup with the train stuff, like, you don't even realize that you're actually progressing towards this Jiggy here. It just kind of, like, contributes to all those steps for it. And Kazooie will say here, we worked really hard for you. Any chance of another Jiggy? No. Fair enough. So yeah, that is, like, why Kazooie says that, because that's honestly probably, like, the most convoluted Jiggy in the game that has so much setup to it. But we unfortunately do still only get 1 Jiggy for it. But now, it's actually very convenient to do this at this time, because we sort of get multiple uses out of the train here. We won't have to bring it to Pterodactyl Land to deliver that dinosaur back. But now, we also get to use the train to sneak our way into Grunty Industries, because everything in the actual level was closed off to us when we went there before. We had to open up the train station to actually get in from inside, which is a very sneaky setup, and I think it's really cool. But yeah, now it is time to actually properly start Grunty Industries, which, as I talked about at the end of the last episode, this is my favorite world in the game. It's extremely complex, but I absolutely love that about it. So, let's finally get started with Grunty Industries properly now. We've got these barrel guys. I would not recommend hitting them more than once, because if you actually kill them, I guess I'll show it. Actually, I don't know if it does it in this room. Maybe it's not in this room. I think it's in another room that they do that. But if you kill these guys, like, anywhere else, I think, they release a fume of toxic gas that will just kind of follow you and slowly drain your health. So I would advise, like, leaving them alone for the most part, actually. Just trying to avoid them if you can. But they're actually not too bad in here. Let's just get some clockworks here, because we are pretty low on them. We're about halfway empty, so empty that a bit. There's only one thing we actually really need to get in this train station, and that is an empty honeycomb piece. And to get that, we have to climb up here, all the way over here. And this will have a bounce pad in it that will let us go up here. Let's grab onto that. Just barely, jeez. And our empty honeycomb piece will be all the way over here. So let's just walk across that. There we go, get that. And that's all we gotta do in here for now. That didn't feel like that big of a fall, but okay. Let me see if one of these guys will actually hurt me. I was gonna say drop a honeycomb, but... Okay, thankfully they both dropped a honeycomb, so I will take both of those. And let's progress on through. So, you will see a lot of these security cameras throughout the levels, and they have eyes, which is cool and funny. But if they see you, they're going to release these little guys, and they're going to just follow you and be extremely annoying. They're going to zap you with electricity. Can you actually kill these guys? I think you can kill them with, like, grenade eggs. Most of the time, they're just going to, like, hide into their little shell bodies and just electrocute you. And it's going to be really, really annoying. So, to actually not deal with those guys, well, see if I can get them to despawn. I don't know if they're going to despawn or not. So I'll hit them with some grenade eggs here. I think you can't shoot them when they're closed like that. You can only shoot them when they're open. So, let's wait for this guy to open up. There we go. So, to not deal with those guys, you can actually shoot a grenade at the camera. Blow it up. It will respawn, so you do have to be quick. But, that is a good thing to do to keep in mind. Before you go into, like, any room ever throughout Grunty Industries, just kind of be cautious and kind of go in first person and see if there's actually a camera in there. And you can use the zoom function to your advantage. This is probably one of, like, the best instances of... Oh my god, really? Came back at the worst time. But, like, yeah, it's probably one of the best instances of actually using the zoom function on the camera, because you can easily direct your shot better at the camera and actually, actually see the camera better too anyway. So I would recommend using that to your advantage here. We've got these guys here who scream at you. It's quite silly. But now here we are at the actual proper first floor of Grunty Industries. And boy oh boy is there a lot to do here. So, the first thing that I guess we will do is go up here, up these stairs. Let's take care of this guy first so he is out of the way. Let's go up here. Here we have a split-up pad, which we will use in a second. First, let's talk to Jam Jars, because there's a new move to get here, of course. These are the claw clamber boots that will let us walk up walls. This is what we were supposed to use to get the food from Witchy World to Pterodactyl Land. So we were actually only a world away from actually being able to do that, but there was no point in holding it off for later, because we could just do it now, or we could just do it then with a much easier exploit, so that is why I did that then. And now, there's actually quite a lot to do with Banjo and Kazooie split up. This level is honestly like, there is so much splitting up in this level, which makes sense because, like, it's the main gimmick of the game, and I feel like it is used to its absolute best in this level. There is a lot of cool splitting up going on with Banjo and Kazooie here. The first thing that I guess we'll do, it's probably going to be the most convenient thing for us to do, that we should probably just knock out of the way right now, is we have these two switches here. And we, of course, need both Banjo and Kazooie to actually stand on. So, let's open that up with that switch. There's a warp pad. So that will actually open up the main entrance of the level, so we can actually get in here whenever we want now. Whoa, that is a very, very weird shot. That looks like lava, but it's actually just like the evening sky. That is the skybox of Grunty Industries outside. So, now that that's open, we can actually go out here and get this warp pad. And actually, I do want to go here now as Banjo. Yeah, there's a lot to do in this level, and I actually have not played this level in like a couple months. It's been a bit more than that. It's been like, ow. It's been, I would say, oh gosh, I'm actually really low on health, but that won't matter for long. It's been like, I don't know, probably like, I don't know, like 9 months since I've last played this game before this playthrough, which doesn't seem like a lot, because I feel like most people don't play through the same game, like every 9 months or so, but I play this game a lot. I play this game multiple times a year, usually, so 9 months without playing this game is actually kind of a long time. So, I might be a little rusty on my Grunty Industries knowledge, but I will do my best to explain things as thoroughly as I can, because I actually really love this level, and I love infodumping about it. But I already failed, because I did not talk about it all about how I got that battery up there. We had to hit him with a pack whack, and then we used Taxi Pack to actually pick it up. Pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to go over that anyway. We need these batteries guys. We need these battery guys a lot throughout the level, actually, because they are used to actually power things up. So, Banjo's going to be picking up a lot of batteries throughout the level, and that is the first one that we're going to actually get. So, what we want to do with that battery is we want to bring it all the way over here. And now this is another instance of, like, pack whack not being required, or the pack whack jump not being required, because you're supposed to, like, do that little backflip with Banjo. I don't know if I ever explained that he can do that backflip, by the way. That's just something he can do. But you can also just, you know, pack whack jump up here. And then you just put the battery in this little hole here, because that is what you do with batteries. That will open up that door. That is the main purpose of batteries, is they will be used to open up a lot of doors in the level. We could warp back here to Kazooie if we so wanted to, but I don't really need to. I'll go over there later. Let's just go in this little hatch for now that just opened up, and actually get ourselves another move right off the bat. This is for Banjo only, so let's get that for him. This is the Snooze Pack ability, and this is probably the most broken move in the game. I can't really properly show it off now because Jam Jars just healed me, so let me actually, well, hold up. Don't fall yet, we need to actually hit this button first. So we'll do that, and that will cause this little toxic waste pit to rise with even more toxic waste. So, we'll do that. And now I'm going to take fall damage here. I didn't actually take that much fall damage here. I'm going to let this guy hit me a bit. And then, I'll go far away from him. Get this note. So the move we just learned is called Snooze Pack, and if we crouch and... Oh god! Okay, never mind. Never mind, apparently you don't need to just break them open to actually... Oh my god. Okay, I thought those guys were only trapped in those barrels, but I guess not. Please don't come near me. Okay, so Snooze Pack, if you crouch and press right on the C stick, you will just start to take a nap and slowly recover health. And that is why it's very broken. There are some uses for that, of course. For example, the Stomponodon... Man, did those guys not come out of the barrels? Did I just get that enemy type completely wrong? I don't know. But anyways, you may remember Stomponodon from Pterodactyl Land would only get you down to 1 HP, and would not actually kill you if you had any more than 1 HP. So, what you would do there is just get hit down to 1 HP, then heal, and then get hit again, because you can only get down to 1 HP. So that's how we actually get Banjo across the stomping plains, but we're of course not going to do that right now. But we will later, for sure. So, that is Snooze Pack. It's very good. Another instance here of me predicting that I guess not predicting, me just assuming that the pack-whack jump was not intentional, is because you're supposed to climb across here with Banjo. Actually, come on, get up there. There we go. You're supposed to climb all the way across that with Banjo and watch out for the electrical stuff, but you can very easily just pack-whack jump and get these notes. I mean, I guess you could technically get that with Banjo and Kazooie as well, but it's just convenient to get it now because we're already over there with Banjo by himself anyway. And it's very obviously set up so that Banjo can get that using that little grippy grab climbing wall thing, but you can just jump over it anyways. So, it's easy. So in here, we also want to bring Banjo by himself. There's actually quite a lot for Banjo solo to do here. This is the trash compactor. And this is kind of similar to the stomping plains. I guess this is kind of what will give you the idea that maybe this will also work in the stomping plains as well. But if we stand here at all, the trash compactor will come down, and similar to Stompanodon, it will always put us at 1 HP. So if we get hit again, we'll die, but if we just heal even once, we'll be good. And you can actually jump over this one if you time it right with the conveyor, but I did not do it right. But thankfully, I had more than one honeycomb left, so it only put me down to 1 HP again. So now I'm going to go ahead and snooze again. Just need one because there's really no way to dodge this. Oh my god! Okay, never mind. I'm amazing. For some reason, I thought you could only do it like going this way because of the momentum you gain from the conveyor. But apparently, if your jump is good enough, you can just do it without it. So I'm gonna just heal back up to full now. And this is another thing that the Snooze Pack is really good for, because that is not the hole. The hole I need to go into is over here, because it actually has stairs and an exit. That's where I need to go. But the Snooze Pack is really good for, if you want to recover health as Banjo and Kazooie, because you may remember that, like, when Banjo and Kazooie split up, they kind of lose health and they have their own separate health. So their health kind of merges when you rejoin them. So if you have Banjo at full health and Kazooie is not, if you rejoin them, their health is going to, their overall health is going to increase, which is very, very useful. So I'll do that now, I guess, because I just took a bit of damage. So I think this should put us back at full HP for them. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will because Kazooie was at full health, so... But if she was a bit lower, it could also put us back at full, depending on what, I guess, her health was looking like. But I think if she was at, like, 1, it might not be full. But I'm not quite sure about that. Off the top of my head. This room here is honestly very useless to us. This is the elevator shaft. Throughout the level, we're going to be opening up elevator doors, but it's honestly really useless to us. Like, there's really not a convenient time for us here to actually use this elevator, so I'm probably not going to go in here at all. But it is, you can climb to the top. You can't actually go anywhere with it because all the doors are still closed. But it is like the highest, like, thing in the entire game. Highest room in the entire game. So, if you want to fall really, really far, that is where you can do it. And I think that's actually it for us to do on the first floor for now, but we'll definitely be coming back here later. I guess I could show this guy right now to show off something we'll be doing a lot throughout the level. We have these guys here called skivvies, which are these little bunny guys whose clothes are all dirty, so we've got to figure out how to wash their clothes. But we can't do anything with him right now. We could also go to the workers' quarters down here, but we could go down there right now, but it's not super convenient right now. I mean, I guess we could, but I don't. It's not usually how I do things, so I'm not going to do it right now. What I actually just want to do is go up to the second floor, because we're kind of done with the first floor for now. So to do that, we're going to put our claw climber boots to the test, and all we got to do to use them is just walk against those little footprint pattern things, and then we'll just automatically go up the wall. It's very convenient. It's just cool, I guess. I don't think this really takes us anywhere. This just has like some eggs up here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Which I guess I might need. How many grenades? I guess I'm pretty good. I'll get another clockwork too, because we'll definitely always need those. But to actually progress, go in here and bounce up to the second floor. So, now we will be up there, if it will load. Thank you. Now we are on the second floor. Hello, sir. I did not want to build drill. We have another little elevator here. This is the service elevator, which is different from the actual elevator in the elevator shaft. Although I guess that's not really an elevator. That's literally just a shaft that has doors open to it that you can eventually access. There's a little panel over there that we can't access right now, but we will later. And all the way over here, kind of get to the more actual central area of the second floor. I wouldn't actually still call this the central area, but it is a very important area because this actually is where the warp head is, and it's also where Humbawamba is, so we should definitely keep this in mind. We don't need to go see Humbawamba right now, even though we do have the global for it. Here we've got a beehive that will try to attack us again. I don't need its health, but I should get it out of the way. And speaking of getting things out of the way, let's also blow open that little grate, I guess, because that will be helpful to us later. Not right now, though. That is a little shortcut to another area, but we don't need to take it right now. Let's be careful before we actually go in there, because we want to shoot this camera before we actually go in here. Otherwise, we would have a lot of guys just kind of swarming us, and that would not be fun at all. I think there are just 2 sets of notes in this room, so let's take care of those. I think that's everything. Yeah, okay. There are some other paths off to the other directions there, but we don't have to worry about that right now. In here, we have a couple more things to do. Of course, there's a lot to do in this level. Watch out for that, though. I think if you actually climb on the sides, you're completely safe, so that's kind of a funny... I don't know if it's an oversight or just something they did on purpose that's kind of fun for you to figure out, but I think it's cool. So, in this room, we have, again, a lot of things to do with both Banjo and Kazooie separated. First of which, I guess we will go ahead and get this note, but I also want to go and get this battery. Once again, you're supposed to climb across that with Banjo, but you can just pack-whack jump and also get it. Let's pick this guy up. Get him into our bag. And now we want to bring him back up there. Because, well, we're gonna use him again to open up a door. That was kind of close. So let's bring him over here. And put him in there. And that will open up this room here, which I think is the magnet chamber, the electromagnet chamber. So now we can go in there. We don't need to really worry about that right now. Though actually, that's actually not what I want to do with Banjo yet. Banjo still has a bit more stuff to do. Cannot take that shortcut, but I actually don't want him to. I don't want to bring him down there. Let's take him down here. Oh, yeah, that's another thing about... Ow. That's another thing about the pack-whack double jump that I don't think I talked about, is you can use the pack-whack. You can use pack-whack to sort of to slow your descent to avoid taking fall damage. But if you jump out of it, you'll still be in like free fall and you'll take fall damage again, even though you slowed down with pack-whack. Which is another reason why I firmly believe that it was not intentional. But let's actually snooze back there and heal some health back up. Unfortunately, we don't have Kazooie with us to actually take care of the camera that's in here, so there are going to be some robot guys spawning on us here. I did not need to break that, but we just got to very quickly go over here, go down this little staircase here, and down here we will find a switch that will actually open up a fire exit, so we can, I guess, have another way of getting inside the factory from outside, but we're really only going to use it right now. But it is still very important. And there's that weird shot again of the sky that looks like lava. Let's take Banjo out here. And this, honestly, I feel like this is probably like the coolest example of Banjo and Kazooie's being split up. Because we've already done so much with Banjo by himself in just that one room. But now, we bring him out here, have him stand on this switch, and that will open up a little door, I guess a window, all the way up there at the top. And there's a Jinjo behind that. So, now we have to bring Kazooie all the way out there. But, there's still some stuff for her to do in here by herself first. So, first thing, camera, I went the complete wrong direction. We'll get this. Note, there's a Jinjo up there, but we cannot actually reach him yet. So, to actually get him, we use a nice little combo of Feathery Flap and Wing Whack to actually get over here. And here we have a Kazooie-only move. And this is the Leg Spring. This is essentially a backflip for Kazooie. It is kind of weird how Banjo had a backflip by default by himself, but Kazooie did not. But I guess in fairness, this is a really good backflip. Like, look how high she goes. That is insane. So we're of course going to use that over here. Very carefully land back on that little pipe. Oh god. Let's actually make that jump properly. Get that Jinjo. And now let's go ahead and get ourselves another Jinjo because, well, we saw what was behind that window outside, so let's go ahead and bring Kazooie back outside. We don't need to get those Claw Clamber boots because I think they'll run out before we actually climb up the wall outside. There's another set of Claw Clamber boots outside that we should use instead. I guess those are there to climb up the wall to actually get the move that we just got, because I think there was a set of trails or footprints on the wall there, but you can also just make that jump by just jumping, so that's what I like to do. But the Claw Clamber boots are... Wow, I thought I was going to for sure take damage from the swamp there, but I did not. The Claw Clamber boots are over there, so let's get those and have Kazooie walk all the way up here. I don't know why they have it go at an angle there. I guess they're just kind of showing off and being a bit silly goofy with it. But also, this is just a Minjo. Just kidding. But it would have been funny if they made you do all that work just for a Minjo. Would have been very funny. Also, I'm just going to have Kazooie die here, as much as I hate to see that. But I know Banjo's right there. We can easily just go back to him. But this will put us back in that sort of central room on the second floor. And that's actually kind of where we want to be right now. So that's where we're going to go. So that was very convenient. So that is actually where I want to wrap things up here for today, because I have been recording for a pretty long time. This episode is kind of a long one. But I'm just really excited about Grunty Industries because I love this level. And we're kind of only scratching the surface of how much there is to do in this level. So I really love this level, and I cannot wait to continue it later. But not now. So next time we're going to continue Grunty Industries, and I'm going to continue to info dump like a little giddy child, because I just love this level. Have I mentioned that? I don't think I have. I love this level. Goodbye.